the U.S. soccer,
Hooray!
They announced the roster to face France and Slovenia. Yeah. Well, you have a problem with this, Brett, because you're saying this is not experimental, and I'm looking at it, and outside of maybe some midfield things, well, it's not experimental at all.
It's the same team minus a couple people. Yeah. It's the same team since Klinsmann's first team.
And what does that tell you? What does that tell you, though?
He's got his team set.
He wants to win. He wants to win. He doesn't want to F around anymore. He needs to win. He realizes it.
You know, I don't think there are certainly. I mean, he's called in a lot of the right names, and whether or not he plays the right players to get the win, I don't know, or plays the correct tactics. I don't know necessarily if the current formation and current setup is going to win us matches against, say, France and Slovenia. It definitely will increase our possession time, which it has, but there are certainly some questionable call-ups compared to, I mean, his own quote.
Like who?
You know, if you're on the bench somewhere, it doesn't matter if you're Europe, in MLS, or in Mexico, you have a problem coming in. Come in here. I mean, that's a direct quote.
Yeah.
And we have players who aren't necessarily on the bench, but who aren't on best form compared to other players who might be on better form.
Like Edson Buttle?
Edson Buttle's an option here because I like Buttle. I don't necessarily like him over, say,
Hercules
Gomez.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who is a scoring fiend in Mexico right now.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Making the numbers up. And people are screaming, why isn't he here?
I don't know. I agree with you.
Boggles my mind.
I agree with Klinsmann taking Agudelo off the starting line, off being call-up list.
I don't know if I have to go back and look, but he might be included with the U23s. He might not be, but now that he's out of the playoffs, he might get included. But yeah, I agree with you on that.
Yeah, I mean, so he's made some changes, but listen, he's got Edson Buttle in there. I mean, what has Edson Buttle really done at Ingolstadt? I mean, to really deserve to continuously be called up. Yes, he doesn't play much. But why? Why not give a guy like Hercules Gomez, who is actually scoring goals, an opportunity? And at the same time, as you mentioned, why the f***ing hell is Robbie Rogers back in this lineup? Why? When you have Brad Davis, you have Chris Rolfe, as you mentioned in our conversation earlier. Why? Why Robbie Rogers?
To jump onto the forward comment real quick, when you're looking at what Klinsmann does with the forwards, you know, you're going to have Josie starting, guaranteed. Yep. Whether or not you have Dempsey or Donovan play that reserve striker role,
Dempsey, I guarantee it.
Really high on Donovan playing that role, but then again, Dempsey's been doing really well with it. You're not going to be starting Bo. He's going to be a sub mate. No, so why not bring in an opportunist, somebody who is still being pulled in?
Yeah.
Or a super sub role with his club and scoring goals.
I take Wondolowski over Buttle.
Gomez. Wando hasn't really gotten a fair shake with the national team. I really don't think. I think he deserves another call up, another shot if played correctly.
But Gomez definitely deserves it.
Definitely Gomez.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's not even a question. He fits the role perfectly.
And he loves players that play in Mexico. I don't get it. Why not? What's wrong with... Does he have herpes? I mean, what's wrong? I mean, with Gomez?
I don't know. I don't know. It boggles my mind. But jumping back onto the Robbie Rogers comment, I don't understand it.
Me neither.
I haven't really been that impressed with him outside of his 20 minutes with against Mexico. The rest of his performances haven't been that great. Haven't been.
No.
Why not give a shot to somebody who's consistently playing in Europe?
Yep.
Who's not consistently? He's scoring goals recently. He's assisting goals. He's doing much better at holding the man off the ball, shielding it from him, and actually creating opportunities. Chris Rolfe is doing all of this as a left mid with his team.
Yeah.
As a left mid. I mean, it's basically Robbie Rogers, but a right-footed version who's actually excelling in Europe.
Yeah.
Why not give him a shot?
I don't know why not either. I'm blown away by it. I mentioned Brad Davis. To me, I mean, is there anything else you can say about Brad Davis? But he consistently leads his team and has been a leader in the assists. And then you watch the assists that he made versus Philly, and you just have to say, this guy, I know he's going to be 31-32 when the next World Cup
He's
comes
excelling
up.
now.
He's awesome. He's a great player.
He's getting assists.
He's like the Beckham, the American Beckham, the way he kicks the ball.
It means that he's creating goals. And that's something that the U.S. national team under Klinsmann has not seen. Goals. They have, like 2 goals in 5 games or something like that?
Bringing someone in, yeah.
We need somebody who can create the goals. We're creating opportunities. We're not finishing them, but we're creating them very, very few opportunities. We need somebody in there who can create them.
Who knows how to create them.
A great opportunity player here.
Yeah.
He'll definitely create the chances. He's definitely a type of player that Klinsmann's looking at here because he's asking his wings to lay in the ball, cross it, to lay the through ball. And this is all stuff that Davis can do.
Yep.
I think his age is really playing a factor, but then again, we're calling it Edson Buttle. I mean,
yeah.
It's got to work both ways here.
It should, and performance should mean something. If you're going to call him Kyle Beckerman, you got to call him Brad Davis instead of Robbie freaking Rogers. I like Robbie Rogers. He's shown potential. He's had his moments, but can we give somebody else a shot?
He has his moments, but they're very few and far between.
Yeah.
I like him. I think he's a great player. He can definitely create, but he's not the fringe player we need right now.
Right.
Not the person we need necessarily off the bench. Right now. He's still young. He still can definitely earn call-ups. But we've seen what he can do right now, and we need to test somebody else.
Right.
Because I don't feel confident right now bringing him in.
I don't either.
I don't.
Well,
and also another person I really don't feel confident bringing in is Orozco.
Yeah,
Orozco.
again.
Jeez, I butchered that, didn't I?
Fiscal.
Again, why are we calling him up?
Yeah.
Why? Nothing really against him, but I think we have better options.
I think so.
Whether we bring in Cameron from Houston, Gonzo from LA. I mean, people will say, like, oh, they're still in the playoffs. But then again, we're bringing in Beckerman. We're bringing in Donovan.
Give him a shot. Yeah, I agree.
Call him up. If he's in the finals, replace him. Or, hell, just drop him off the list and play the other people you have in there.
Yep.
I mean, we have Boca. We have... Here's my big question. Morales. I mean, he's been hyped, a very high prospect. He's been scouted by Peru because he has the eligibility to play for Peru. There was that whole quote where he said that he was going to play for Peru. Now he's in U.S. camp. He's got like 55 minutes in 5 games in the Bundesliga right now.
Exactly.
I mean, seriously, if he's obviously on the bench somewhere. How is he getting called up for this? It would make more sense if he was brought up to the U23 team.
Yeah. But
I can understand Klinsmann's idea of calling him up to say, hey, we're interested in you to play for the U.S.
Yeah.
Basically, Klinsmann has said that he had spoken to the coach, and he had only high things to say, and that he's on the verge of being a starter.
Yeah.
But he's not a starter now.
He's not.
This is the same reason why Michael Bradley and Jones missed a couple games there, because they were on the bench or they did not have a team or they were struggling to find playing time somewhere. Don't get me wrong. He could turn out to be a great player.
Maybe.
Right now, he doesn't match the credentials that Klinsmann is saying.
Right.
It does make sense to me.
It's hypocritical.
You have Gonzo.
Yeah.
It does make sense.
Yeah. And unfortunately, Brett, we're out of time.
Oh, of course we are.
So the tape is about to run out. Thanks for joining us. And for the next time on this Ray Card, here's looking back at you.